Walking on eggshells. What is this? What are the effects it can have on us? And how to deal with this now. Walking on eggshells is the term most commonly used when we are trained by usually narcissistic people to be careful of who we are when we are around them, for fear of their reactions, fear of them getting angry with us, or fear of abandonment. We begin to shut down and hide our real selves, as when we are ourselves around a narcissist, they gaslight us with, "Are you really going to wear that?" or "You look bad in that," causing us to doubt who we are. The same with our true feelings. We begin to hide them through those fears, as often when we try to express our thoughts and our feelings to a narcissist, they will come back with, "You're too sensitive, you're insecure." We give up on our opinions for fear of causing an argument, of them then giving us the silent treatment. We slowly lose who we are to please the narcissist. Mental abuse is often a subtle form of abuse by a narcissist, coercive, controlling us, and it's gradually training us on how we should think, feel, and behave. Walking on eggshells is what people end up doing around negative, toxic, or abusive people. Most often unconsciously, we end up doing this over time in order to protect ourselves from further abuse. Usually when we still cannot work out the situation that we are in, that we are indeed being abused, and we are slowly losing our values, our beliefs, our morals, and our boundaries. Most of the time, we don't even realise we're being abused. Most abusers will create an environment of insecurity, instability, confusion, fear. So they gain full power and control over us, all while they stand there telling you that they love you. I'm Elizabeth Shaw. Welcome to the channel, which is all about the narcissistic personality disorder, to give you more understanding of those you might be dealing with in your life and what's happened to you through the given situations, and most importantly, how to recover from narcissistic abuse. So when around narcissistic people, we often end up walking on eggshells to please them. Some examples are: 1, you become too afraid to speak up about anything in case it causes a disagreement that turns into an argument, for fear of reactions, fear of abandonment through the narcissist's past silent treatments. When they've then blamed the silent treatment on you, you were told things like, "If you hadn't, I wouldn't." Never getting your feelings validated, getting told that you're insecure just because you would have liked a conversation. They gaslight us, and that gaslighting crushes our self-esteem and leaves us full of self-doubt. 2, fear of receiving anger from them, or the passive-aggressive reactions that they will give if they feel like they're cornered and all we were doing was having a simple conversation. 3, fear of making a noise that might disturb them and never knowing what their reactions might be, from the incredible sulk to guilt trips, silent treatments, or anger and rage. 4, fear of dressing how we want to dress, for fear of what they might say or do. The covert narcissist, "You look fat in that," or "You look too thin in that," or the overt narcissist, which is more direct, or the covert narcissist, "Are you really going to wear that?" to get us to question ourselves. The covert doesn't directly point it out like the overt, and both ways still plant those seeds of self-doubt deep within our minds. 5, fear of not responding to their messages or phone calls instantly, as we know we will have consequences from them, and questions of why we didn't respond straight away, where were we, and all the other things they throw our way. It's a case of they say jump and we have to learn how to say how high, otherwise we get punished. 6, you are afraid to live your life and be exactly who you want to be. 7, fear of asking others for help in case they don't believe or understand us, in case they think we're stupid, in case they think we're overreacting because we've had it drilled into us by the narcissist that we're overreacting. So we then fear what other people might say. 8, fear of not making their meals right for reactions, fear of not having their clothes ready, fear of not saying the right thing to them. 9, fear of going out with friends or talking to friends, fear of seeing family, so that you slowly end up becoming isolated and cut off from those who do love and care for you. The narcissist will cause arguments before you go out or when you come home, or they will give you the silent treatment or say things like, why are you meeting them? They don't even like you. Why go out with them? They only talk about you behind your back, which is a form of triangulation, so that you begin to doubt your own friends and family and become isolated from support. 10, fear of being judged by others if you do speak up. Breaking free from any narcissist, we often can suffer from these things around other people, as we've been programmed to think this way. So we fear reactions from others who wouldn't normally react to us in an abusive way. We also have to get to the point where we begin to focus less on our past and more on our freedom. Even if it's things like turning the music up loud when we please, hoovering when we'd like, dressing how we want, speaking up for ourselves when we want to speak up for ourselves. Not necessarily towards a narcissistic person. With those, sometimes you're best off just letting them be wrong and move on with your life. The effects of walking on eggshells are 1, anxiety, which is possibly one of the biggest effects of being around narcissistic people. When it comes to walking on eggshells, it is anyway. You can get to a point with anxiety where even when you're no longer in the situation, you can fear the phone ringing or a message coming through, even though that's in the past. And past memories, things that happened in childhood, if you had narcissistic parents, those toxic events, those things that hurt you, can have an effect on your adult life, even if it's something as simple as a certain food. If you were sat eating a certain food and the narcissistic parent did something or said something and you felt a certain emotion, that food can trigger you 20, 30, 40 years down the line if it's not dealt with. As your mind has been subconsciously programmed to respond that way, to the phone ringing can send people into a spin. And fear of speaking up for yourself to others who aren't actually abusive towards you in case they react. And fear of saying no to others. And in one way, especially if you had narcissistic parents, you can then become a people pleaser in order to protect yourself from other people's reactions and from other people's judgment. 2, loss of self-esteem from the criticism and the put-downs that the narcissist has drip-fed you over time. 3, feeling completely shut off from the outside world and others, no longer feeling able to express ourselves or our feelings or our opinions. 4, constantly apologising to other people, constantly saying sorry even when there isn't a need to say sorry. 5, leaving our own inner critic, sounding like our abuser and continually putting ourselves down, talking to ourselves in the way which our abuser used to talk to us. Does your inner critic ask you if you're going to wear that? When you look in the mirror, when you put something on, do you start questioning yourself now? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with standing there thinking, do I really want to wear that? But it's about what you want, not about what other people think of you. So if you feel good in something, go out and wear it. If you don't feel good in something, change it, but not for anyone else's opinion, only your own. 6, loss of personal self and freedom due to the anxiety, no longer wanting to do things for yourself that you'd normally do, as we've been programmed to ask the narcissist first, to avoid situations that might break out into arguments if we just did what we wanted to do. So even out of the relationship, we can avoid situations full stop, as we know how they used to react, so we don't want to cause that reaction in the present moment. 7, fear of speaking up for ourselves. I know I repeat that a lot, but a lot of people, when they've been around narcissistic people, become that full of self-doubt that they do fear speaking up for themselves. And it's just taking those steps slowly to speak back up for yourself. If your intentions are good, don't worry about offending other people. If your intentions are good, you will not offend the right people. The only people you'll offend are the people that you don't want in your life anyway. 8, again, full of self-doubt, always questioning how you think or feel, if you should or should not do something, overthinking, worried in excess what others think of you, scared to just be yourself. And the other thing is, when we've come out of narcissistic relationships, with their smear campaigns, going through divorces, when it comes to trying to, I don't think there is such a thing as co-parenting with one. There is from our side. They will only ever counter-parent. But when we're dealing with those real life situations, it is incredibly draining. The stress hits hard, and it has knock-on effects on so many aspects of your life. So we just have to take it one step at a time, get over one obstacle at a time, and get up each morning and keep going. I know that's not the greatest advice, but with some of the situations that we end up in after this sort of relationship, it is a moment by moment, day by day process until we get there. I had some horrific times in the beginning. It does take time, it takes practice, but you will get there. So what can we do about these things now? 1, if you're still around the narcissist, start working on a safe plan to get out, and make sure you get out safely. Your safety is paramount, and you do have to be careful around those without empathy. 2, start working on yourself. Some are dangerous, so I wouldn't recommend doing it in front of a narcissist if you're still working on that plan to get out. If you are out, start expressing yourself again, and your own personal likes and dislikes, your needs, your wants. It's one of the most important things is working out who you are, what things you enjoy in life, what you want to do for you. It doesn't matter whether that's cutting hair, baking cakes, driving a lorry, cutting grass, being on TV, flying an aeroplane, whatever thing is that you think you would enjoy for you, just slowly taking the steps to get yourself there. Whether it takes 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it takes to get yourself there. If you don't start today, that's going to be further away in your future. So just start making plans on that today, finding the things that you love for you. 3, surrounding yourself with positive, happy people who are happy to show any and all emotions, and this will set yourself free to do the same. People have been through situations, but I'm a big believer that a good majority of us have all suffered some form of trauma within our lives. So there's nothing wrong with being around people that want to discuss their feelings, that want to, I'm not saying be worries me all the time, but there's nothing wrong with having a conversation with someone else and them saying, oh, this happened to me in my childhood, this happened to me in my relationship, this happened to me. It's bringing the two-way conversation and then bringing it into something lighter, something funny, something so you're not constantly dragging each other down. with the memories of the past. There's nothing wrong with talking about memories of the past, as long as you can pick each other back up out of it. So when I say surround yourself with happy people, it doesn't mean they have to be running around 100% of the time all giddy and joyful and everything's perfect, because that can also have the negative effect of, why are they so happy and I'm not? It's about finding the people for you, the people that you get on with, the people that you can converse with, the people that you can have a laugh with, the people that you can... And that's the other thing, you can have 5 different groups of people. You can have that group of people that you tell your woes to. You can have that group of people that you only ever smile to. You can have that group of people that you don't really tell them anything whatsoever. A group of people that you just smile at. A group of people you just go out and drink with. You can have different sets and different groups of people. There's most often our circle of friends will decrease as we grow older, as we realise the behaviour that we don't want to accept from others. 4, create new boundaries. If something doesn't feel right to you, say no and stick to your no, and you must enforce these boundaries. 5, create new core values and standards of things that matter to you, things that are important to you, your morals, your values, and stick to them. 6, choose to surround yourself with those who do raise you up and walk free from those who drag you down. You need to be around people that bring out the best in you, not bring out the worst in you. 7, keep asking yourself, what do I want to be? Who am I? What things do I enjoy? Until you find the answers. And we don't have to find the answers in one day. And to be honest, we may never truly find all the answers, because part of life, part of who we are, is about growth. So we might find that we like a hobby, and then 6 months later that might turn into another hobby or another skill set. So it's finding what you enjoy in the moment and then keep going from there. 8, reconnect with old family and old friends. Those good ones will be understanding. Those that tried to warn you, they might have done it out of genuine care for you. Ask yourself, if this was one of your old friends and they came to you with the story, would you want to help them? And most people would definitely want to help. So reach out to people that you may have been cut off from. 9, think about things you genuinely enjoy doing. I know I've repeated this a few times, but sometimes we have to hear it in a different way to get that light bulb moment to sink in. So the things that you used to enjoy doing, could you start these up again or start new hobbies? Finding things that you love for you, creating new dreams, and then taking the steps to achieve these new dreams. 10, taking care of your thoughts each and every moment. Don't allow others to pull you down, and work on no longer putting yourself down. So we have moments, but replace I'm not good enough with I am good enough. Replace I cannot to I can, and find a way to make it so that you can. We can all have doubts and we can all have fears, yet when it comes to creating a whole new, much happier life, we have to learn to level up on our thinking, which takes time and it takes practice. 11, just take those baby steps, take those first steps. It's the only way, and keep going each day. You're allowed to take a step back now and again. You're allowed a day off. You're allowed a bad moment. You're allowed those times. Just dust yourself off and get up and go again. Find your path, the right way that suits you. There is no wrong way or right way to live your life. With good intentions, there is only your way, and we're allowed to make mistakes along the way. Mistakes are a part of how we learn. We learn from the mistakes we make, what we don't want, to find the things that we do want in life. There is always a way, and when you're having one of those bad days, bad moments, bad weeks, Sometimes you've got to stop yourself and look at just how far you have truly come, to pick yourself up, to level up, to then go again, We are human, we have emotions, we have feelings, things happen. It's finding the right coping strategies for you to give yourself that better life, that happier life, that laughter, that fun. You can and you will. If you are new to the channel and you like the information on the channel, please hit that subscribe and share the information to get it out there. If you have any advice for anybody, please also add that into the comments, because it only takes one person to read that one thing and think, oh, I could try that. And it sends them on a whole new life path. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.